NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth. Some actual bona fide experts think it might not be your typical space rock or maybe any kind of rock or a natural phenomenon at all.
A mysterious object hurtling towards Earth at an unimaginable speed has just been detected by NASA. But this isn't just any space rock. It's an interstellar visitor unlike anything we've ever seen. A comet with its tail pointing toward the sun, no gas emissions, and a trajectory so precise it feels almost calculated. What if it's not just a natural phenomenon? What if it's something more?
It was first detected as a speck of light moving relative to background stars.
This object, first spotted as a tiny speck of light moving against the backdrop of distant stars, has raised numerous questions among those who study space. The object, which has been classified as an interstellar comet, displays some peculiar characteristics that set it apart from anything we've seen before. Notably, its tail is pointed toward the sun rather than away from it, which goes against the standard physics of how comets typically behave. This observation, made through the use of powerful telescopes like the Hubble Space Telescope, suggests that this is no ordinary space rock, and it might not even be a natural phenomenon at all. What makes this discovery even more intriguing is that this is only the third object to be observed passing through our solar system from beyond. Previous interstellar visitors, such as the comet Oumuamua in 2017 and the asteroid Borisov in 2019, have already caused a stir among scientists, each for their own unique features. However, this newly detected object seems to be displaying an even more bizarre set of behaviors that have left experts alarmed and intrigued in equal measure. One of the key features of this interstellar comet is its extraordinary speed, racing through the solar system at an unprecedented velocity of around 130,000 miles per hour. It is moving much faster than any typical comet. This speed is not only a fascinating observation, but also raises important questions about the nature of the object. Comets, as we know them, tend to move much slower than this, making the speed of this particular object highly abnormal. However, what makes its speed truly remarkable is the manner in which it interacts with the objects around it. Despite its high velocity, the comet seems to be following a path through the solar system that appears almost deliberate. Its trajectory brings it suspiciously close to several planets, including Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. This is far from a typical cometary path, as comets generally follow more erratic orbits that take them far from the inner solar system. The fact that this object is on a trajectory that takes it close to these major planets has left scientists scratching their heads. Could this be a coincidence? Or is there something more deliberate about the path it has taken? The odds of such a precise trajectory occurring by chance are astronomically low, prompting experts to consider the possibility that there may be a more calculated force behind its movement. Adding to the intrigue is the timing of the object's approach. As it races through the solar system, the comet is expected to reach its closest point to the sun while positioned directly behind it, from our perspective here on Earth. This timing is significant, as the moment when the comet is at its brightest and most active will coincide with the point when it is hidden from view by the sun's glare. This raises a crucial question. Could this be an intentional maneuver to avoid being studied at its most observable and active stage? The fact that the comet will be out of view when it reaches its peak brightness has led some to question whether this is a coincidence or if there's more to the story than meets the eye. Leaked images from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope have added to the mystery, revealing even more baffling details about the object. These high-resolution images have shown that the comet's dust tail is pointing toward the sun, which is completely contrary to the expected behavior of a comet. Normally, solar radiation would push the dust and gas away from the sun, forming the typical tail that points outward. Yet in the case of this object, the tail is heading directly toward the sun, which has led scientists to theorize that there may be some unknown force at work here, one that is causing the comet to behave in ways that defy the laws of physics as we currently understand them. Adding another layer to the mystery is the fact that spectroscopic analysis has detected no signs of gas emissions from the comet. Normally, as a comet gets closer to the sun and begins to heat up, it releases gases, which is what creates the visible tail. However, this object has shown no detectable gas emissions, and yet it is still shedding significant amounts of dust. This unusual behavior has further puzzled astronomers, as it doesn't fit with the established model of how comets should act. Some initial measurements suggest that this object could be much larger than typical comets, potentially measuring up to 5.6 kilometers in diameter. If this measurement holds true, it would make this interstellar object the largest of its kind ever observed, surpassing even the size of previous interstellar visitors. The sheer size of the object, coupled with its unusual behavior, has led to increased speculation about its true nature and origin. Could this be a natural comet, or could it be something entirely different, something that defies categorization? The combination of these factors, the object's speed, its peculiar path through the solar system, the mystery of its tail pointing toward the sun, and the lack of gas emissions, has prompted astronomers to consider the possibility that this object may not be a typical comet after all. Some experts have raised the theory that it could be something artificial, though this idea is still very much in the realm of speculation. The fact that this object is displaying so many anomalies has led to a great deal of debate among scientists, with some even questioning whether we are witnessing the arrival of something truly unprecedented in our solar system. The leaked NASA images have also shown us that the object's dust trail is behaving in ways that scientists simply cannot explain using current models. Under normal circumstances, the dust trail would be pushed away from the sun by solar radiation, yet in this case, the dust is being drawn toward the sun, which suggests that there may be an unknown force at play. This observation alone has led to a flurry of theories and hypotheses, as astronomers try to make sense of what they are seeing. As we continue to observe this mysterious visitor from beyond our solar system, the questions surrounding it only seem to multiply. Is it simply a strange comet, or is it something much more significant? As the object continues its journey through our solar system, it will undoubtedly provide more clues that could help us unravel the mysteries of its true nature. But what we know for certain is that this is one of the most unusual objects ever detected, and its study could change everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. For now, scientists are watching closely, hoping to gather as much information as possible before the object disappears beyond the reach of our telescopes. Whether or not this object holds the key to a deeper understanding of the universe remains to be seen, but it is already clear that it has captivated the imaginations of astronomers around the world. The journey of this mysterious interstellar visitor is only just beginning, and as we follow it through the solar system, we may discover things that challenge everything we thought we knew about space, time, and the forces that shape our universe. As scientists continue to study this mysterious object racing toward Earth, several key anomalies have emerged that only add to the intrigue surrounding it. These peculiarities not only challenge our understanding of comets, but also raise important questions about the very nature of this cosmic visitor. The most puzzling of these anomalies are related to the object's behavior, trajectory, and composition, which seem to defy the norms established by decades of astronomical observations. One of the most notable and perplexing features of this interstellar comet is its unusual dust tail. Typically, comets develop a tail that points away from the sun, driven by solar radiation. As the comet gets closer to the sun, the heat causes it to release gases, which, along with dust particles, form the tail. Solar radiation then pushes these particles away from the sun, creating a tail that trails behind the object as it moves through space. This is a well-understood phenomenon that has been observed countless times with comets in our solar system. However, the dust tail of this particular object is pointing in the opposite direction, toward the sun, which goes against everything scientists have come to expect from a comet. This discovery has left astronomers scratching their heads, as it suggests that the normal principles of cometary behavior do not apply in this case. The tail pointing toward the sun is not only an anomaly but also a strong indication that something unusual is happening with the object. Some scientists have suggested that this behavior may be the result of a force that is unknown to current physics. In particular, this dust trail may be the result of some kind of material venting directly from the sun-facing side of the comet. This is a theory that is still being studied, as it could reveal an entirely new aspect of comet behavior that we had not previously considered. In addition to the strange tail, another puzzling observation is the lack of detectable gas emissions from the comet. Normally, as a comet approaches the sun, it begins to heat up and in doing so releases gases that form the familiar glowing coma around the nucleus of the comet. This gas outflow is a key feature of all known comets, as it is the process that creates the visible tail. However, this object has shown no signs of gas emissions at all. Despite being in close proximity to the sun, where it should be experiencing significant heating, the comet is shedding only dust and not the expected gas. This anomaly has further confounded scientists, as it does not align with the established cometary model. The absence of gas emissions raises several questions. Is the object composed of materials that do not produce gas when heated? Or is there another explanation for why the comet is not behaving as expected? Some astronomers have theorized that the object might be an entirely different kind of body, one that is not a typical comet at all, but rather a new type of interstellar object that is yet to be categorized. Whatever the explanation, the lack of gas emissions is yet another clue that this object is far from ordinary. What makes the situation even more perplexing is the size of the object. Early measurements suggest that it could be enormous, potentially measuring up to 5.6 kilometers in diameter. This would make it by far the largest interstellar object ever detected. Previous interstellar visitors, such as the object Oumuamua, which was detected in 2017, were much smaller in comparison. Oumuamua was estimated to be around 800 meters long, and the comet Borisov, which passed through our solar system in 2019, was also smaller than the object in question here. If the current object is indeed as large as measurements suggest, it could represent an entirely new category of interstellar visitors. The size of the object, combined with its other anomalous features, has led to increasing speculation about its true nature. Could it be a fragment of a much larger celestial body? Or is it a solitary object that has journeyed across the cosmos for billions of years? The sheer scale of the object has raised more questions than answers. Its enormous size could also mean that its internal structure may be radically different from anything we've encountered before in our solar system. There could be a wealth of scientific information contained within it, should we ever have the opportunity to study it up close. Along with its unusual tail and lack of gas emissions, the trajectory of this interstellar object is another point of significant interest. As the comet travels through our solar system, its path brings it dangerously close to several major planets, including Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. In early October 2025, it is expected to pass within just 30 million kilometers of Mars, which is extremely close in cosmic terms. This proximity raises the possibility that NASA's rovers, currently stationed on the Martian surface, may even be able to capture images of the comet as it passes by. Later in 2026, the object will swing past Venus at a distance of 0.7 astronomical units, which is still considered remarkably close in astronomical terms. And after that, it will approach Jupiter's vicinity, coming within 0.3 to 0.4 astronomical units of the gas giant. This trajectory is highly unusual, and the odds of an interstellar object following such a precise path are incredibly low. Harvard astronomer A.V. Loeb and his colleagues have calculated the probability of such planetary encounters happening by chance, and the result is extremely small. The odds of this object passing so close to 3 major planets in the solar system seem far too low to be coincidental. What makes this trajectory even more puzzling is that it closely mirrors the kinds of paths that NASA itself would design for its spacecraft. When planning missions to the outer planets, NASA engineers often use a technique called gravity assists, where a spacecraft uses the gravitational pull of planets to slingshot itself onto the next leg of its journey. This allows spacecraft to conserve fuel and travel efficiently through the solar system. The fact that this interstellar object is following a similar path to the ones NASA engineers have designed raises more questions. Could this object have been guided, intentionally or unintentionally, along this path? If so, what could have been the cause? This near-precise alignment with multiple planets also raises the possibility that the object could be carrying some form of monitoring equipment or other technology. If the object is indeed a purposeful visitor, its trajectory could be a deliberate attempt to study the planets of our solar system. This brings us to an even more intriguing possibility. Could this object be of artificial origin? The timing of the object's closest approach to the Sun only adds to the mystery. According to the current predictions, the object will reach its closest point to the Sun, known as perihelion, while positioned directly behind the Sun from our perspective here on Earth. This means that when the comet is at its brightest and most active, it will be completely hidden from view due to the Sun's glare. While this may sound like a coincidence, it has raised suspicions among some astronomers who believe that the object may be intentionally hiding behind the Sun to avoid detection at its peak. This curious timing has prompted further speculation about the object's true nature. If it is indeed of artificial origin, then this maneuver could be a deliberate attempt to avoid observation when the object is at its most active. If the object is a natural comet, however, then the timing of its position behind the Sun at perihelion is most likely a coincidence. However, this coincidence has led some to wonder whether there is more to this mysterious object than we currently understand. The more astronomers study this interstellar visitor, the more anomalies seem to arise. Its strange behavior, coupled with its unusual trajectory and enormous size, make it one of the most extraordinary objects to be detected in recent years. Whether it is a natural comet or something more extraordinary, this cosmic traveler has already made its mark on the scientific community. As scientists continue to study this mysterious object, one of the most fascinating aspects of its journey through our solar system is its unusual path. Most interstellar objects follow erratic, unpredictable trajectories when they enter the solar system. But this object's trajectory seems almost too precise to be random. After entering from above the plane of the planets, this interstellar comet follows a path that takes it remarkably close to multiple planets in a way that has raised many eyebrows in the scientific community. The fact that it's coming so close to several major planets in quick succession has made researchers wonder if there is something more deliberate about its route. In October 2025, the object will pass within just 30 million kilometers of Mars, an incredibly close encounter in cosmic terms. This is significant because NASA's rovers, which are currently exploring Mars, may be able to capture images of the comet as it zooms by. Given the proximity of this object to the Martian surface, the possibility of getting close-up images of an interstellar object is a rare opportunity that could provide us with a wealth of information. A comet from another star system passing so close to Mars presents a remarkable scientific opportunity to study how these objects behave outside of our solar system. Following its close approach to Mars, the object will continue on its journey, swinging past Venus at about 0.7 astronomical units. This is still considered quite close in astronomical terms. Later in 2026, the comet will come even closer to Jupiter's neighborhood, passing within 0.3 to 0.4 astronomical units of the gas giant. This proximity to three major planets in such a short period has raised significant questions. The odds of an interstellar object passing so close to these three planets are incredibly low, which makes this path seem far from coincidental. The trajectory of this object has caught the attention of experts, especially when considering the statistical improbability of its path. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, along with his colleagues, has conducted a detailed calculation of the odds of an object passing so close to three major planets by chance. Their analysis has shown that the probability of this happening randomly is extremely small. The fact that this object is following such a precise route has led to further speculation about its origins and purpose. One of the most interesting aspects of the trajectory is how similar it is to the paths that NASA engineers designed for spacecraft missions. When NASA plans missions to the outer planets, engineers often calculate the optimal route to take advantage of the gravitational pull of planets in order to conserve fuel and increase efficiency. This technique, known as gravity assist, allows spacecraft to slingshot around planets and continue their journey with minimal energy expenditure. This is a common strategy used for missions like Voyager's grand tour of the outer planets. The fact that this interstellar object is following a path that brings it so close to several planets, almost in a sequential manner, is strikingly similar to the kinds of trajectories NASA engineers would design for a spacecraft. This alignment raises some intriguing possibilities. Could this object have been guided, intentionally or unintentionally, along this path? If the trajectory is deliberate, it might suggest that the object is not just a random comet, but something more engineered or controlled. This raises further questions about the object's origins. Could it have been purposefully directed toward our solar system? And if so, by whom or what? Could this object be carrying some kind of technology or equipment that was designed to study or monitor our solar system? The timing of the object's approach to the Sun adds another layer of intrigue to its already mysterious journey. As it approaches its closest point to the Sun, known as perihelion, the object will be positioned directly behind the Sun from our perspective on Earth. This is significant because the object will be at its brightest and most active when it is completely hidden from view by the Sun's glare. This is a critical point in the object's journey, as it is the moment when scientists would have the best chance to study it in detail, but it will be hidden from our telescopes at this crucial phase. Some astronomers have found the timing of this alignment to be suspicious, raising the question, is this positioning a coincidence or is it intentional? If the object's positioning behind the sun at perihelion is deliberate, it could suggest that it is trying to avoid being observed when it is at its most active. This raises the possibility that the object is more than just a comet and may have an agenda or purpose beyond what we understand. Could it be an object from another civilization or an alien probe designed to avoid detection? While such ideas remain speculative, the timing of its path through the solar system has certainly raised eyebrows in the scientific community. The military and strategic implications of this object's journey are also worth considering. The United States Space Command, which is responsible for monitoring objects in space, operates a sophisticated network of radar arrays and telescopes to track and catalog space objects. These systems are designed to detect everything from small debris to large asteroids. Given the size and speed of this interstellar visitor, it is puzzling that there has been so little information from military and defense agencies about it. Despite the object's potential to be the largest interstellar object ever detected and its extraordinary speed, the silence from these organizations has been notable. This lack of public information has led some to speculate that agencies like the Department of Defense and planetary defense groups may be using this object as an opportunity to conduct real-world drills. The object's rapid speed, its close encounters with multiple planets, and its unusual trajectory provide an ideal scenario for testing detection systems and communication protocols in the event of a genuine interstellar threat. The object presents a perfect test case for evaluating how well current systems and response frameworks would work in such a scenario. If these agencies are tracking the object in secret, it could be that they are using the encounter to refine their preparedness for dealing with potential interstellar objects in the future. Another key consideration is whether the object could pose any potential threat to Earth or our solar system. Its speed alone makes it impossible to intercept with current technology. By the time any space agency could launch a mission to catch up with the object, it would already have passed beyond the solar system and out of reach. However, the close encounters with the planets raise the question of whether this object could have some kind of impact, either on the planets themselves or on our understanding of the solar system. For now, scientists are continuing to monitor the object's progress as it moves through the solar system. Their observations will likely provide more clues about its composition, structure, and origins. The object's interactions with the solar wind, its rotation, and its potential to shed more dust or even gases could all offer important information about its true nature. The James Webb Space Telescope and other space observatories are preparing to observe the object as it gets closer to the sun, hoping to gather as much data as possible before it disappears beyond the solar system. The strange trajectory of this object, its alignment with multiple planets, and its timing as it passes behind the sun at its closest point are all factors that have made it one of the most intriguing interstellar visitors ever observed. While its true origins and purpose remain unknown, its journey through the solar system is already raising significant questions about the nature of space objects and the forces that shape our cosmic environment. One of the most fascinating aspects of this object's journey through the solar system is the ongoing forensic astronomy investigation being carried out. Even before the object was officially discovered, scientists had begun investigating it, using data gathered from various observatories. The Vera Rubin Observatory in Chile, part of a new network of advanced telescopes, accidentally captured images of the object during its equipment testing phase. These images, which were taken before the object was officially detected, are now being examined in great detail to learn more about its composition and behavior. The images taken by the Vera Rubin Observatory are particularly significant because they reveal something that immediately caught the attention of astronomers: the strange dust trail pointing toward the sun. As discussed earlier, comets typically form a tail that points away from the sun due to solar radiation pressure. Yet this object's tail is behaving in a completely opposite manner, pointing directly toward the sun. This anomaly has been the subject of intense scrutiny, with astronomers running simulations and computer models to try to understand how this could be happening. According to the models, solar radiation pressure should push dust particles away from the sun, forming a tail that trails behind the object. The fact that this object's tail is pointing in the opposite direction suggests that there may be an unknown force at play. The most likely explanation is that the dust is being emitted directly from the sun-facing side of the object, with enough force to temporarily overcome the solar pressure that would normally push particles away. This discovery has led scientists to propose new theories about the physics behind cometary behavior, suggesting that there may be mechanisms at work that we don't yet fully understand. Adding to the mystery is the fact that despite the comet's proximity to the Sun, there has been no detectable gas emissions. As is typical with comets, the heat from the Sun causes the object to heat up, which results in the release of gases that form the visible coma around the nucleus. However, this object has shown no signs of gas emissions, despite being relatively close to the Sun. The absence of these emissions is highly unusual and has left scientists perplexed. If no gas is being released, how is the comet's dust trail forming? And why isn't the object exhibiting the typical behavior that we would expect from a comet? The lack of gas emissions could be indicative of the object's unique composition. It could be made of materials that do not produce gas when heated, or it could be that the object is not behaving like a comet at all. Some astronomers have suggested that this could be an entirely new type of celestial body, one that we have never encountered before. This would be a groundbreaking discovery that could change our understanding of the diversity of objects that exist beyond our solar system. Further investigation into the object's size and composition has revealed that it could be enormous, potentially measuring up to 5.6 kilometers in diameter. If confirmed, this would make it the largest interstellar object ever detected. In comparison, previous interstellar visitors such as the object Oumuamua and the comet Borisov were much smaller, measuring only a fraction of the size of this new discovery. The size of this object raises several important questions. Is it a solitary object? Or could it be a fragment of a much larger celestial body? And if it is a fragment, what could have caused it to break off from its parent body? The fact that the object is so large could also mean that it contains valuable information about the early formation of the universe, information that could help scientists better understand the processes that led to the creation of stars, planets, and other celestial bodies. Adding to the intrigue, scientists have also discovered that the object appears to be rotating. Preliminary observations indicate that the object's brightness varies over time, which suggests that it is undergoing some kind of rotational motion. This rotation could offer valuable clues about the object's internal structure and composition. If the object is rotating, it might indicate that it is made of solid material. And studying its rotation pattern could help scientists determine whether the object is solid all the way through, or whether it contains some form of internal structure, such as gas pockets or ice. Understanding the rotation of the object could also help scientists figure out how it formed and what its original environment might have been like. The analysis of the object's light curve, which is the way its brightness changes over time, is already yielding some interesting insights. Astronomers are using this data to create detailed computer models that simulate how the object is rotating and what its surface might look like. These models are helping to refine our understanding of the object's size and shape. They are also providing clues about the materials that make up its surface. By examining how the object reflects light and how its brightness changes, scientists are hoping to learn more about whether the object is made of rocky material, ice, or some other substance. The object is also being studied using various other observational tools. The James Webb Space Telescope, for example, is scheduled to observe the object in the infrared spectrum. This will allow astronomers to study heat signatures from the object and potentially identify chemical compounds that are present. The infrared data could provide valuable information about the composition of the object's surface and whether it contains any unusual materials that have never been seen before. Observing the object in infrared will also allow scientists to better understand its internal temperature and how it is interacting with the solar wind. Another important observational tool that is being used to study the object is the Swift Observatory, which is capable of detecting ultraviolet and X-ray emissions. These emissions can provide important information about how the solar wind is interacting with the object's surface. By studying the way the object reacts to the solar wind, scientists can gain insight into its composition and how it might have formed. The Swift Observatory's ability to detect high-energy radiation will also help scientists determine if the object is emitting any unusual radiation, which could indicate that it contains exotic materials or chemicals. As scientists continue to investigate this mysterious interstellar object, they are focusing on understanding the composition of its dust trail. One of the key questions they are trying to answer is whether the dust particles are composed of ordinary material or if they contain more exotic compounds that have never been seen before. Some scientists are particularly interested in the deuterium to hydrogen ratio of the object's water, as this could provide important clues about where the object came from. If the object's water contains a different chemical fingerprint than the water found on Earth, it could suggest that the object formed around a completely different type of star, one with a different chemical composition. The scientific team is also preparing to use spacecraft to study the object up close. The Perseverance rover, which is currently on Mars, may be able to capture images of the object as it passes by. Other spacecraft, such as the Juno spacecraft near Jupiter, may also be able to gather unique perspectives of the object as it moves through the solar system. These spacecraft will be able to observe the object from angles that are not accessible from Earth, providing additional data that could be used to further study its composition and behavior. The object's composition and age are key factors in understanding its origins. Preliminary studies suggest that it could be around 7 billion years old, which would make it the oldest interstellar object ever observed. This age would make the object a fascinating time capsule, preserving clues from a time long before the formation of our own solar system. If the object was formed around a star that is much older than our Sun, its composition could be radically different from that of objects in our solar system. The materials inside this object could provide scientists with a glimpse into the early stages of star and planet formation, offering a window into the distant past of our galaxy. The scientific community is eager to continue studying this object, as it may hold the key to understanding many of the fundamental processes that shape the universe. Whether it is a natural comet or something more unusual, this object has already made a lasting impact on the field of astronomy. As it continues its journey through our solar system, scientists will undoubtedly continue to gather more data, and with it, more insights into the mysteries of the universe. The secrets that this object carries may change our understanding of the cosmos forever.